Welcome back, everybody. Glad to see you here tonight. We are going to do 5 minutes of Reiki as per normal, and then after that, we'll look at some tarot cards or form some affirmations, whatever it is that you guys actually need tonight. So, I'm just realizing it's awful dark in here. I didn't turn all the lights on. So let's take care of that before I start the Reiki. Okay, chair tried to go away from me. All right, so let's go ahead and get the Reiki going. What I'm doing with this is I am setting the intention for whatever is for your highest and best good for each of you as individuals. So let's go ahead and rock and roll with it. All right, so we're starting Reiki at what time? 48 after the hour. That means we'll be finishing it up at 53 after the hour. Those of you who don't know what Reiki is or have questions about Reiki, this is the best time to ask that while I'm focused on sending the Reiki out to you. I am a Yasui Reiki master, so I'm qualified to answer your questions. So just throw them at me, whatever it is that you want to know about Reiki. And also, feel free to say hi. Let me know I'm not just speaking to some kind of dead air, black void type of thing. That would be weird. We do have a lot of energy going out to feet right now. Feet have to do with the idea of either there could be, some kind of feet issue, there could be neuropathy, there could be something else going on where there's actual physical healing happening, but also with feet at a spiritual level. When energy goes into feet, that really says that you're having some adjustments in finding your purpose, moving forward towards your purpose. Those types of things are around the energy of feet. Chikoya. Hello, hello, my friend. How are you tonight? And what are you using your Reiki for? This time, is it the same as yesterday? La, 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 la. Oh, that's whose feet were helping. Probably other people's too, but definitely yours. Overall health for you. Have you been standing on your feet a lot today? Is that the deal? Thank you for the thumbs up, by the way. I appreciate that. Oh, do you have a new job or something? I used to have to stand on my feet all the time. I used to work retail. I sold men's clothing at Dillard's, for one thing. And I worked at Cloth World before I became Joann's Fabrics. It's more than usual for you? Gotcha. And that can really hurt, especially if you haven't done it for a while. A lot going on. That's interesting that you say that. It seems like lately the people that come to me for readings, maybe the last 3-4 days, everybody's got a lot going on. Kind of interesting how that works, huh? And I have a lot going on too, actually. I'm a part of that crowd. One more minute of Reiki left. All right, let's wrap up the Reiki. And Sequoia, I hope you know I would ask you about what's going on, but I'm afraid it'll come up in a reading. And I don't want you to think I'm cheating. So what do you want tonight, honey? Do you have a question or do you want a message from Spirit? Question tonight. Hello there, Miss Rosa. Welcome, welcome. Have you been here before? I don't recognize your little avatar. Sure you may. What's your question, Sequoia? So Rosa, if you want a question answered, just put a question in the chat. If you just want me to bring through a message from Sacred Spirit about something Spirit wants to talk to you about, then you just put the word Spirit in the chat. And if you want help formulating an affirmation to help you manifest something in your life, just put the word affirmation in the chat, and then we'll talk about what kind of affirmation you need when I get to your name. You have? Okay. All right, you must have a new picture then. Okay. What were the dates on the trip, Sequoia? Actually, just tell me the day you were planning on leaving. May 22nd. Okay. Ma-da-da-da. Ma-da-da-da. Rosa, what's your question, everybody? Come back here. The Lenormand just flipped the card for a trip as I was clearing them. What she wants you to look forward to this month. What your grandma wants you to look forward to this month. Well, that should be an interesting read. All right, Miss Sequoia. Is it a good idea for Sequoia to go to Charlotte on May the 22nd? Is that a good idea for her? Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da. With these cards, I probably wouldn't. Just on the technical, this would be what I would consider a tie, and a lot of times I'll take a tie as a no, straight up, just because it's not a nice solid yes. For me, I like my yeses to be heck yeah. Let's go through the meaning on this. First of all, we've got your Five of Cups showing up, first card out. Fool card, obviously traveling. Seven of Swords in reverse. Going back to some place that you've been before. Six of Pentacles. And Nine of Wands in reverse. Okay, so maybe you go to this. So Five of Cups, this tells me that right now there's something going on that you've been disappointed about. No, that can't be true. How do you like me telling you about your life? That can't be true. Not with these cards. Not with these cards. So Five of Cups, there's something going on around you right now that has you feeling disappointed, okay? The Fool card does talk about doing something brand new, spanking new, leap of faith, basically. So this tells me that this trip for you is is basically a leap of faith. So that would back up what you said about being the first trip that you would ever be away from home. Here's the thing. You've definitely been to Charlotte before. Maybe when you were too young to remember or something. I don't know. You've definitely been there before, according to this card. Maybe you should ask your mom if she ever took you when you were little. Or, I don't know. Maybe you were there whenever she was pregnant with you. Maybe this is even a past life thing. But I think that you've been to Charlotte before, and I think really, honestly, I'm going to say I think it's been in this lifetime. I think you should ask around about it. Six of Pentacles is an interesting card because for me, this talks about things becoming even. For me, this talks about when this shows up in my spreads, it talks about like me doing a reading and somebody paying me for the reading, you know? So are you, well, I don't want to ask you, but this looks like whatever you're doing in Charlotte is going to pay off. It's at least going to pay for itself. All right. So I don't know. Maybe you're going as a nanny and they're paying you. I don't know what that's all about, really. Here's the thing. You may not know what it's all about either because we've got a Nine of Wands in reverse, which talks about something surprising you right behind that card that talks about somebody paying you for a product or service. So, Nine of Swords in reverse, there is some type of surprise around that. Maybe it's a surprise to you. Maybe you aren't really going there for any kind of paying gig and then something pops up. I don't know. Either way, I don't know. Maybe you give somebody a ride there and they pay you for the ride when you go. I don't know. Here's what I'm going to say. After looking at this tie, here's what I think. I think that where you are right now, you're ready for a change of scenery. You're starting off with that Five of Cups. This is a leap of faith with the Fool coming up. You know how I like my leaps of faith. Nice little adventure you've got planned. You may or may not know that you've been there before. That's okay. I think you have. You're going to end up paid for something, some kind of product or service, and I think that's going to come as a surprise to you. I would check it out. I would take the adventure. Going for someone's birthday. That's really interesting. You may end up helping to set up or something like that, and maybe they would, set up for the party or something like that, and maybe they pay you for that kind of help. I don't know. I don't know exactly what you're getting paid for. Let's look. Let's find out. Let's see what the Lenormand can tell us about this. They obviously wanted to talk to you with having that card flip while I was clearing the deck anyway, so let's clarify this a little bit. You're scared because you've never done it before. Not on your own, at least. Is this a birthday for somebody in your family or no? Because I've got a card here that can be about family or it can be about health. It's not family. Okay. All right. Well, I think there's going to be an announcement made here that is unexpected, that is made by a friend about one of your friends about some kind of health issue. And how you would be paid for that, I'm not exactly sure. But this is a friend that actually is traveling to the birthday party as well. So this is not a friend that is, well, maybe, or maybe this is a friend that lives there. It's a friend from a distance, so it's a friend that lives far away. But I'm going to say I think this person actually traveled to the party with the cards that are coming up here. And they're going to have some kind of message about health that is going to allow you to be paid. That's interesting. You'll have to let me know how that goes. All right, so let's see. You can see that? Why? Okay, so now inquiring minds want to know, why would you be paid about somebody else's health? Do you do Reiki? Do you do Reiki and I just forgot that? Okay, so Rosa. Oh, okay. Very cool. I think you're going to want to be at this party for a lot of reasons. Okay, so Rosa, let me get your question down. Rosa wants to know, what does Rosa's grandma want her to look forward to this month? I hate these questions, Rosa. I'm just going to tell you. You know why? So let's talk about this question a little bit before you change it, because I want you to understand where I'm coming from here, and then you can decide for yourself if you want to keep it or not. But here's how I feel about this question. It doesn't sit well with me. In other words, it makes me feel uncomfortable every time you ask a question like this. And now that you asked this question, I remember you being in the room before because you've asked other questions along the same lines. This whole, what should I look forward to? I understand that you want to be positive, and that's great. But when you ask a question like that, you're really limiting sacred spirit or whatever spirit you want to communicate with. You're really limiting them in what they get to talk to you about. What if what they really want to talk to you about is not something that you want to look forward to, but they really want to give you some advice around something that's really rough and yucky? But they can't give you that advice if you're saying, what do I have to look forward to? I only want fairy tales and fluff and dandelion puff in my reading. Fairy tales and fluff and dandelion puff is not always helpful. And my big thing that I pride my readings on is that they are helpful. So you tell me, should we change the question or do you want to keep it? It's up to you. It's your question. I just don't know if it's going to give you the most help a question possibly could. Okay, so did she give you a message in the dream? Aw, thank you, Michael. Welcome, by the way. Okay, so you've already got your message from your grandma. So whenever I ask people if they want a message from spirit or if they want to ask questions, I'm hoping that somebody's going to have something going on in their life that they want like best advice on. Like maybe something's going on at work. What's the best way for me to interact with my supervisor or my coworker? Or maybe there's some type of relationship thing and they need to know, should they run for the hills or should they put the ring on? You know, something that's going to help you make a decision that's going to help you be more productive in your life. That's really what I'm kind of shooting for. Oh, now see, that's a sweet message. When you go and ask later about something else, then that kind of, let's let that message be its beautiful self right there. And now today, let's be in today. Okay? Ishika Asawa. Hello, hello. Glad you're here, my dear. I must have heard you. I must have heard you. So, Rosa, let's ask a question that's going to make a difference. And if you don't have a question that's going to make a difference, then let's go for a message from Spirit. That way we can do something really, truly helpful. Michael, if you want a question, go ahead and put it in chat. I'm still going to be here about 38 more minutes. Same thing for you, Ashika. So far, I'm on the last person on the list so far, so not really much of one. I'm kind of pushing Rosie to be what I want her to be, which may not be very fair, but that's the space I'm in tonight. You got to take me or leave me as I am, I guess. What kind of time frame do we want on that, Rosa? Like by the end of this month, the end of this year, the end of 3 years? What do we want? What time frame? And thank you very much for putting up with me. By this June. Okay. Will she be switching jobs from where she's at now? By, not sure if you want the first or the last of June, by the middle of June 2022. All right. You're quite welcome, quite welcome. You go ahead and ponder away. All right. Okay, well, Ishika, what we're going to do then is I'm going to let you kind of wander around the question, kind of like you wander around the mulberry bush. You just tell me kind of the situation and maybe I can help you frame the question. Okay, will Rosa be switching jobs from where she works at now by the middle of June of 2022? Let's find out. Nopers. No. And I'll tell you why I say that. I don't know if you read cards or not, Miss Rosa, but we're going to go through cards real quick. Prince of Pentacles in reverse. Ace of Swords, right side up. Two of Wands in reverse. Seven of Swords, right side up. Fool in reverse. This one is the real teller for me. Okay. Now, all of these really tell me a story, but that's my answer card right there. So for my Prince of Pentacles in reverse, this tells me, followed by the Ace of Swords, you're not really putting a lot of energy and effort into getting the word out that you're looking for something. I don't see you putting out any more than 3 resumes, if that. Okay, so that type of energy and effort and looking for a position usually does not lead to one unless you're incredibly lucky and blessed. All right. Now we've got the Two of Wands showing up in reverse, which just tells me that you do have an option miraculously open up for you, and that you really feel like everybody around you wants you to choose to stay right where you are. And so you're feeling kind of pressured to stay where you are rather than take up this other option. Now, I think after you turn down the other option, I think you start to make a strategy about, what do I really want to do? What do I really want? Okay. And then at the very end of our time frame, right around the middle of June, what I see is you looking at the job. And I think that originally you started this job as a leap of faith, not knowing where it would take you. You're looking at this job and you're considering, should I walk away from it or should I stay? Is there more good stuff here for me, or has it served its time, served its purpose, and it's time for me to move on? And you're deciding there's more good stuff here, so I'm going to stay here. So I see you, not because of this reading, but I see you making the decision that you're going to stay right where you are. At least for the time frame we looked at, probably longer. Okay. But the place is toxic. Gotcha. Okay, so Ashika's situation. You kind of like, his name is Sanat. We spoke a little on good. You're quite welcome. Quite welcome. All right, so you figured out your question for me, didn't you? What do you feel so today? Okay. So we want to look at how he felt in the past on Saturday. We don't care how he feels now. We just want to know what he felt in the past. Am I understanding you right? Okay. I mean, I guess I want to know how it changed the way he feels. Okay. How did the interactions with Sanat on Saturday change the way he feels towards... We want to know how he feels now, for Pete's sake. This is ridiculous. Why are we trying to do all this crazy wording? How does Sanat feel now towards Ashika? Let's quit playing games, guys. Hello there, Les. Welcome, welcome. I don't remember your name in the room before. Are you new here? Just saying the name Les takes me back to the Mary Tyler Moore Show. Ba-da-da, which you may not remember. Yeah, we want the basics. This is not a fancy thing. How does Sanat feel towards Ashika right now? Because remember, feelings are outdated sometimes in as little as 10 or 20 minutes. So how he felt Saturday? Who cares? Who cares? What are you going to do with that information? That's old news. Okay. Oh, okay, awesome. Well, I'm glad you're here. Yay. What did we meet, like a couple of weeks ago, I'm thinking? From that first name? I haven't met too many Les's. All right, so Aishika. 3 of Wands showing up here. Covered by 6 of Cups in reverse. Well, followed by the King of Swords. Ooh, he's a strategy person. Followed by the Prince of Wands in reverse. Ooh, he's a runaround person. Followed by the 5 of Cups in reverse. Okay, maybe he's not a runaround person. Let's look at how he feels about you instead of twisting it all up and taking it out of context. 3 of Wands says that he has some kind of plans for the future to reach out to you or talk to you or bump into you or something. So he has some kind of plans that he wants to see you again. 6 of Cups in reverse. I think he feels like maybe he got off on the wrong foot with you and that you may not have seen the best side of him. Okay. King of Swords just says he's making a strategy. This dude's logical too. So if you guys do get involved, what you should expect from this guy is he's going to think everything through to the point that you're like, do you have any feelings in there? Or does it all have to add up? Because people who exhibit strong air energy, which he is with this King of Swords, man, they think and they overthink and they can kill a mood. They can kill a mood, man. If you let them, they can. Now, here's the thing. I said he's a runaround guy. Not really, because we're looking at how he feels about you. He feels like you could be a runaround type of girl. Like you could be easy. And so, he wants to be cautious about that. He wants to make sure that that's not really the case. And I think he's hoping with this 5 of Cups in reverse to find out that that idea is not correct. He does want to get to know you better. Wants to talk to you more in the future. He's very logical. And you did get off on the wrong foot. Very cool. Real name is Nick. Oops. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I tell all my people that go to classes, Nick. I am like the girl from 50 First Dates. If you've ever seen that Adam Sandler movie, where he has to go on first date after first date after first date with her because she doesn't remember the last date ever. That's kind of what my memory does to me. So I cannot picture your face. That does not mean I'm not very happy that you are here, because I am. All right, so it completely resonates. Of course it does. I'm doing my job. Not cocky or anything. Okay. Let's see. So you have met the girl that you want, huh, Mike? That is very fantastic. Okay, so will I find my one true love and move to Mexico and expand our artistic arts and lifestyle? Will she see me and will she want to? And I know she sees me. It's a good vibing girl. So many questions. So many questions. Let's see. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Okay. All right, let's look at this. Let's break this down. Let's get to the basics. Before you move to Mexico with this chick, she has to see you first, right? So let's ask about that. How about... So many questions we could ask. How about we ask best advice for your interactions with her, or we ask how she feels about you? One of those two. Let's ask one of those two. Let's ask something that's going to be helpful. You've just got this whole thing all planned out for you and her, don't you? Now I got to remember what the latter was. Was that one how she feels about you? Yes, I think it was. How does this chick that Michael's talking about... Do we have a first name on this chick? By the way, the card that just fell is one that talks about making a plan, making a strategy. And I was just talking about how you've got this all planned out. How does she feel? Okay. Do we have a first name for this chick? I think I scared Nick away because I told him I don't remember exactly what he looks like. You don't want to out her. Oh. So it's somebody that comes into my room. This could be interesting. Okay, let's see. How does she feel about Mr. Michael? What are we looking at here? Okay. Are you? Okay, good. So, Mr. Nick, I think you're the only person in the room yet who has not either asked a question or requested a message from Spirit or help with an affirmation if you're trying to manifest something. So be thinking about what you would like to ask about, because I'm still going to be here for about 23 more minutes. So I've got plenty of time to get to you next. Let's see. Just figuring out. Okay. All you got to do is type it in the chat once you figure out how to word it. Or I'll help you word it. Seems like I'm helping people word questions tonight. That's the main job today. All right, so here's the thing. Mr. Michael, I don't really see anything coming up personally about how this person feels about you specifically, okay? What I've got showing up is Six of Pentacles in reverse, Three of Cups in reverse, and Eight of Swords in reverse, okay? So basically what you're looking at here is this person has been through some really rough times as far as relationship before, where the relationships were not reciprocal at all, where this lady was giving much more than she was receiving back here, and where not only emotionally but also financially, basically in every way as well, showing up here with that Six of Pentacles and the Three of Cups in reverse. So not even getting the emotional support that she needed. And she's kind of gotten away from the idea of getting into another relationship. With that Eight of Swords in reverse, like that's just not even something that she spends a lot of time thinking about anymore. She's really more focused on just kind of doing her own thing and not having to wonder if she made a bad choice on the next person or not. Okay, I hope that answers your question. You're glad it's not poker? All right. Let's see. Mr. Nick, it's your turn. What would you like? You're quite welcome, Michael. Thank you for keeping me on my feet here today. I love it when people come in with questions. It makes me happy. So very happy. Nick's gone silent. His gears must be smoking while he thinks about how to word his question. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Maybe he had to take a phone call or something. Let's see, what else should we look at tonight before I leave? What else should we look at tonight? Oh, there he is. Oh, your comment was too long. All right, well, try again. You can break it up if you need to. Can be the way. Can be the way. Now you've got me thinking. You know my line. Inquiring minds want to know. Okay, what's your soulmate's first move, Mr. Les? Nick Les. Oh, I did a reading for you, didn't I? Excuse me, but my lips were dry. And you guys know I'm pretty comfortable on the camera with y'all. I don't know that there's that many psychics that actually check out my chat. There's one that I've mentored. And if you're into her, I would be shocked because she's way younger than both of us. There's a couple of it. Ooh. There's a couple others. Oh, just one card? Okay. All right. So what's the first name of your soulmate, honey bunny? Because I use names to connect. Meg. Okay. All right. Let's see. How did you word that? Okay. Best advice for what Nick should do about Meg. What's your best advice for Nick regarding Meg, please? Maybe. I guess I was just thinking about people that come into the room and announce themselves. Not everybody announces themselves. I do know that much. Okay, best advice for what Nick should do about Meg. Here we go. Wow. Wow. Okay, Nick. Here we go, honey bunny. All right, so Mr. Nick, you've got the rebirth card showing up in reverse. I will tell you this, Michael, there are some readers on YouTube that I stumble across every once in a while because, I subscribe to a bunch of them. I check out the competition, and I will tell you that. And I run across some readers that use my terminology for stuff, like phrases that I came up with like years ago they use that terminology. Like one of them is sphere of influence. Nobody else said that before I started saying that. Now there's a few that say that out there that I've come across. There's a couple other phrases that I coined when I just first started coming up here. And I've even heard sphere of influence. I was reading something political the other day and somebody said something about sphere of influence. And I was like, no way, man. So that's very exciting. Okay, so let's get back to cards for Nick. I explore. Let's say that I explore. Okay, so Nick, we start off with the Rebirth card in reverse. That's a pretty powerful card right there. That says a lot, but we're going to talk about the other cards too. Strength, also another very powerful card. Obviously, the name of it's Strength. It's going to be powerful. Okay? Now, you know we're pretty relaxed in this room, Michael. Ace of Swords showing up in reverse. At least I am. This is where I come to have fun. Three of Swords also showing up in reverse. Also, I make sure I have practice so I can stay on my toes. Let's see. And Two of Wands showing up here. Okay. So, la da 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 da. Here's the thing, Nick. You're going to have the chance to get back together with her. I think that she's going to be approaching you about the idea of getting back together with her. The best advice with this Rebirth card in reverse, this is like Spirit just sitting across from the table from you and saying, don't do it. Do not make that mistake of getting back into a situation with her again. Okay? All right, so Strength card coming up here. This tells me that it is time for you to be improving your own self-esteem. So apparently, whatever baloney you went through with Meg hit your self-esteem. Okay? So, time to work on your self-esteem. Time to work on your self-confidence. Time to recover yourself, basically, is the words that I'm hearing from Spirit. All right? Now, Ace of Swords in reverse. I'm kind of getting a double message off of this. So I think that you're supposed to do one thing and then later the other thing. So the first thing that I think you're supposed to do when this card shows up is whenever you hear from her, the best advice is for you to tell her, you know what? I think we need to let the past be in the past. Nothing personal, but we've tried that and it didn't work. Let's let it go. Okay? And you can say it nicer than I'm saying it. You can say, you'll always have a piece of my heart, whatever you want to say. But it's good to let her know that's over. That's done. There's no takebacks. Okay? Now, the other thing that comes to me from this card for you, Mr. Nick, is after you have said that, when she reaches out to you again, because Meg will reach out to you again, do not honor any other messages with a response. Once you've told her, we shouldn't be talking anymore. We need to let this go. No more talking. No more. Okay? Now, Three of Swords in reverse talks about healing of the heartache. Give yourself some time to heal. And to heal, you have to have distance from the situation. Very important. Spirit wants you to heal up. Okay? Now, Two of Wands is how we're ending this. After you have healed up, which is not something that you're going to do in 2 weeks, okay? I know a lot of people out there like to jump from the frying pan to the fire. Don't be doing that. Don't mess around like that. Actually heal up. Get to where you're comfortable on your own and you don't need somebody and you're not missing somebody. You're going out there and doing some fun stuff by yourself or with your friends, but you don't have to have a girly girl right next to you. Okay? After you've done that, after you've healed up, then what you're going to find is you have lots of choices. People are into you. Okay? So you have lots of choices, but it's after you heal up that you start to consider those choices. Not yet. Otherwise, going from the frying pan to the fire, that's not a winner. That's not a winner. And everything I saw in this with Meg, no, that was the frying pan. It's been since March that you've been solo. And what's this month? We're barely into May. So at some point in March, you broke up. For all I know, it could have been March 31st. So you've been on your own for 1 month and 10 days, and maybe a little more. Spirit's not saying it's time. Spirit's saying in the immediate future, you're going to have a chance to get back with her, and Spirit's advising that you don't, so that you can continue your healing process. Okay? This advice didn't come from me, honey bunny. I didn't know enough about your situation to give you any kind of advice. I'm just the mouthpiece. All right. Anybody else in the room need a question answered, help with an affirmation, or what else do I do? Or a message from Spirit? It's the beginning of March, so you've been on your own for 2 months. Spirit is still saying it's not time yet. First, you've got to turn her down. Then you've got to go through we don't need to be talking anymore. Then you've got to go through all the time when she's sending you messages and being a pest and you're trying to ignore her and you are ignoring her. Then you've got to keep on continuing with your healing and growth. And then is when you're healthy enough to start looking at the choices out there for you. Okay? You're quite welcome on that part, Mr. Nick. All right, so I'm not seeing anybody else asking for any other kind of help. I've already been here 52 minutes. It's about time for me to take off anyway. So I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to show up on TikTok for a little while and have some fun there. Everybody have a fantastic evening. Thank you for coming in here and keeping me on my toes. I love you guys. Everybody have a great evening. Peace out.